Good evening, everyone. I'm Pat Harvey.
I'm Rutabaga Shabazi. Unprepared and understaffed. Those are the findings of an after-action report on January's wildfires. Issues including outdated policies and protocols, staffing shortages and resource constraints, and an inability to share real-time information.
The report also found downed cell towers impacted evacuation alerts, and stressed frontline responders acted decisively and in many cases heroically. But tonight some residents are pushing back on those findings.
It's been. It is just an exercise in optics because there is no real actionable change outlined here.
Residents say they were asked to come to meetings and share their experiences for the report, but some feel they were left out of it. The criticism over LA's response is still growing. In fact, a KCAL investigation tonight finds that hundreds of fire victims were threatened with fines for new fire dangers on their already burned out lots. And senior investigative reporter Ross Palombo shares their outrage in a story you'll only see on KCAL News. Ross?
Well, Pat and Rutabaga, homeowners were just shoveling through the ashes. They never expected to have the city come after them, but that is exactly what did happen. We found hundreds of notifications sent to fire victims threatening fines for fire dangers on their burned out properties. And that has left these homeowners feeling burned by the city again.
More than 8 months now since this firestorm swept through 2,300 acres in the Palisades. Since firefighters lost their struggle with 7,000 structures and homes. Since countless fire victims have been scraping and scouring and sifting through the ashes.
My house.
And outside of her home, all these months later, Serene Meshel-Dillman.
And the two houses to the right of me.
And many of her neighbors.
And all up the hill and across the street, they all burned.
Now feel burned again.
Well, they're just piling on. It's so egregious that what are you supposed to do?
What she was doing, what she was living through on January 7th were the winds.
We saw smoke.
And the smoke and the planes.
Flying over with water.
All encircling her Palisades home.
You could see the trees burning. He couldn't even breathe when he was leaving.
She and her husband packed what they could, but not long after they took their last look. As TV cameras caught their neighbor's home engulfed in fire, she saw her house here in the right corner beginning to burn.
It was bad.
It was really bad. The roof was on fire, and as he was going down the hill, he looked at the camera and the backyard was on fire.
Then, after the initial shock of returning,
I don't think anything's going to survive this.
Digging in and uncovering tiny shreds of hope.
It looks like the olive tree is okay.
The surviving grass surrounding this olive tree suddenly turned up the heat again.
So, yeah, we get this notice of noncompliance from the City of Los Angeles Fire Department.
The citation claimed this small amount of regrown grass could add to the intensity of a brush fire.
Sorry that your house burned down, but go clear your brush or you're going to be fined $750.
When you first read that,
I laughed. I thought it was a joke.
Mind blown.
But not everyone was laughing.
What are we worried about my shrubbery in the dirt? What's gonna burn down?
More than 35,000 people liked this post from homeowner and reality star Spencer Pratt, saying the citation was ridiculous, sickening, even a firefighter calling it sad. And Serene's own post of her weed whacking her tiny area also got more outrage growing.
I mean, everybody was just like, what the
You saw the grass. Was it really a problem?
No, I don't think it was.
Do you feel that you needed to be cited?
No, hell no. I'm not within 200 feet of another property. Everybody's moved out. Nobody's living here. I can't imagine that what's left here of this lot could possibly be a fire hazard.
And this isn't the only property here with this sort of issue. Our investigation has uncovered data showing that 312 other properties, partially or completely burned here in the Palisades, also received citations.
All these red dots are other homeowners whose homes were burned in some way who also got cited this time around.
Wow.
These are 300 families that are in the same situation as you. Is this outrageous?
It is.
And what does this say about how the fire department is working?
and how the city's working?
I think it's just a misplaced attention to the wrong area.
It comes after we first drew attention to 16,000 more acres in high fire severity zones needing inspection.
That's a big increase.
It is a huge increase.
And reported budget cuts leading to the loss of 3 people in the brush inspections unit.
You're laying off people right when you need to be hiring.
Correct.
Think homeowners are going to be worried over that?
Probably.
Should they be?
Oh yeah, I mean, I would be.
To make up the difference, our investigation has now found LAFD has been using inspectors from other departments. Schedules and emails we've obtained show they started with 20 members, then added an additional 40 participants from outside of the brush clearance unit to get the job done. But the brush clearance unit did not have the time to coordinate a Fire Prevention Bureau-wide training, one email states. Instead, participants were required to attend a field exercise with the brush clearance unit inspector.
They had people out here that weren't traditional brush inspectors looking around and writing these citations.
Genius.
I mean, is that upsetting?
It's laughable. It's a joke.
The city and fire department both initially refused to speak about it for weeks until we caught up with them in an unrelated press conference.
Some people think that these inspectors that were brought in from other departments weren't as accurate as the traditional brush inspectors.
That I'm not sure.
Okay, you think that could be a problem?
I'm not sure about that one. There were some mistakes. There are always going to be some mistakes.
Is that caused, though, by the fact that these are inspectors from other departments being pulled in to cover shortages?
They're doing the best that they can. Sometimes they make a mistake. It's not intentional, and we always fix them as soon as we find them. But it's not necessarily because they're not full-time brush inspectors.
And beyond this home, beyond the Palisades, this year there was also a dramatic increase in citations citywide, up 37% from 10,827 last year to 14,840 this year.
Are you confident that all those citations and inspections are correct?
I'm very confident that they're accurately done and all of the deficiencies will be corrected.
You know, actually, I do have a question for you about
But
this.
all acknowledge there was an immediate problem in the Palisades.
Let me, on your station, apologize for that, because that should have never happened.
Why do you think it's happening?
Why do I think? Because I think that sometimes things go on automatic pilot, and it was a mistake. But when we found out about it, which I would say was a month ago, we stopped it. We told them they had to send letters out retracting it and apologizing.
We've asked the city for documents backing up the mayor's words on retractions or apologies. LAFD only found one email to a homeowner a week after our interview, clearing a citation, but not apologizing. Serene says she never got an apology and only had her citation cleared after she weed whacked the brush herself.
What would you say to the mayor?
I'd give her my weed whacker and ask her to do it herself.
What does this tell you about how the fire department's being run, how the city's being run?
It's just a continuation of incompetence, it seems like.
Because there were so many problems.
It hasn't changed. They haven't learned anything yet.
Since the fire.
Right.
Since your home was destroyed.
Yes.
Since all of these people were put out.
Correct.
Are you surprised?
No.
Are you angry?
Not anymore. Now I'm just fed up.
Fed up, she says, with the loss and the lack of lessons learned.
Yeah, I lost millions of dollars here.
After seeing so much fire and destruction, homeowners are left looking to the horizon with hope rising before them.
The view this way is always good.
Yeah.
And disbelief and distrust still building behind them.
It's sad. It's horrible.
I hate that I have to go through it.
Well, the fire department now says it's not going to pursue these fines against homeowners in the Palisades. And just tonight, the mayor's office confirms that LAFD did not, in fact, notify residents of that or send out any of those apology letters Karen Bass told us about. In the wake of our reporting now, they say the department, quote, regrets this mistake. And that's unfortunately not the end of it. We've also uncovered emails from a fire inspector warning that some of those dismissed citations were in fact valid fire dangers. He was asking the city what to do, and we never saw a response. We are going to keep you updated on that part of the story in the next few weeks.
Okay.
All right, Russ, thank you very much.
Of course.